Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So yeah, I've been Slapchop painting now for, well, a good 2 years or more, and it's been an absolute game changer for me. It's taken someone who used to hate painting miniatures or would take forever painting something just to think, yeah, don't like the look of it, to someone who loves painting miniatures, and well, every day I'm painting some miniatures or terrain or something or other using the good old Slapchop painting technique. But when I have done it before, I've always said it's a great way to get your miniatures from being grey to tabletop ready, but obviously it can always be improved on. And I've always often said, yeah, I'm going to get some of my miniatures, or the ones I painted like a year or two ago, and then do exactly what I said and improve them. Obviously that's one of those things where you sort of say you're going to do something and then it never quite happens. So I'm now determined for 2024, from now on, whenever I do Slapchop paint something, I am going to take it that next step further. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video, and I was going to do it with this orc. Obviously a lovely looking figure. I'll leave links down below to everything I'm using. So painted him up, and then I was going to make him obviously do the next sort of stage of improving him. But then I took a little break from getting him done to this sort of stage. Had a little bit of a tidy up, bit of a spring clean, and while going through some of my cupboards, I came across something that I drew, well, I don't know, about 40 odd years ago I think I drew this, and well, Judge Dredd. Yeah, to see me talk about it in previous videos, I absolutely love Judge Dredd. So this image I probably drew when I was about, I don't know, 12, 13, maybe a bit younger, not too sure. So yeah, a good 40 odd years ago, painted this and thought, that's the figure I want to paint and, well, show you just how you can improve on the Slapchop painting technique. So here's a lovely figure. Yeah, I've gone through a bust rather than a miniature, just because I'll be able to do more painting on this. I am going to paint up obviously some miniatures in this sort of Slapchop plus technique. But for now, yeah, this is the dude I'm going to do. And this was printed on the Frozen Mighty 8K. Lovely printer I've been using now for the better part of about 6 months, I think. Absolutely gorgeous printer. Never fails to, to achieve what I need, whether it's a large bust like this or a smaller miniature. So again, leave links down below. This video is sponsored by Frozen, but as always guys, anything I say, do, yeah, it's my own words. I'm never told what to say. None of my videos are ever scripted, which I kind of think is pretty self-explanatory, because there is quite a lot often where I do repeat myself, I do waffle, or I just talk nonsense. So this dude was printed out using normal resin, although to be fair, I probably should have used the 8K frozen resin, because that does give you a much sharper looking miniature. But yeah, so this is going to be put onto my little painting handles. So what I'm going to do now, rather than gluing things down, or even using blue tack, which seems to just sort of come off every now and then, yeah, cunning plan. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably done this for years and years and years, but for me, yeah, I thought it was a cunning plan. And that's to use some double-sided tape. It's a bit tricky because I couldn't seem to get to grips with the bit here. I generally like to keep my nails quite short because otherwise, well, they just get really dirty. But yeah, double-sided tape. Again, I'm sure you guys use this all the time, but this just seems perfect because obviously it will adhere to the miniature. It stays on really, really well, but you can pull it off, well, when you're all done. So yeah, starting with, well, Slapchop painting technique. So priming in black, good old Colourforge matte black as this, well, gorgeous stuff. And there we go, lovely matte black primed miniature, ready to do some dry brushing with. I will be trying out some new dry brushing techniques coming up soon. Well, I say techniques, more different sort of coloured primers, different colour, well, rather than using the white like I normally do. Yeah, I'm going to try a whole variety of other colours, just to see if I can improve on, well, painting orcs, because I love orcs. So again, yeah, links down below guys. I use artified dry brushes just because as well, these are pretty decent. And whatever white I can get my hands on. I'm often asked, is there a better white than other whites? No, not really. Whatever white you've got to hand, use that. As we all know, this hobby can be quite expensive at times. So yeah, don't rush out to sort of spend loads of money getting stuff. Just use whatever you've got to hand and, well, have fun with it. As I'm always saying, yeah, this hobby, it's all about having fun. And I've certainly been having fun with it for the past, well, it's about 4 years now, which is just crazy how quick time has gone. as this channel, well, I started it during the second lockdown here in the UK, just because obviously I wasn't working, I was getting bored, and I needed to do things. And say, I'm a very visual person. I like to keep busy, and I like to, well, make things. So yeah, that's how this channel started, good old 4 years ago, and well, it's now my full-time gig, which is just absolutely awesome. Wasn't intending it to be that, it just sort of, well, just sort of happened. So dry brushing, yeah, I say it all the time, I love this part. This really does show off all the definition, all the nooks, all the crannies, and just how good these miniatures are sculpted, and just how well they print out. And I've been using 3D printers for about the last 3 years, obviously primarily more, definitely the last 2, and yeah, I still can't get over, I can just print out and make, well, kind of whatever it is I want. Yeah, it's definitely like being a big kid in a toy shop. There's no doubt about that. So here we go. Good old Judge Dredd. Love the look of this figure. I say Judge Dredd, I used to read the comic when I was younger every week. So I absolutely love him. And yeah, we're going to keep it simple. There's not really too many colours to this dude, which is pretty good. So I've been using green stuff dipping inks for a while. But I've also got these intensity inks. If anyone knows the difference between the dipping ink and intensity ink, yeah, by all means let me know. Because I can't see any difference in either of these. They both work exactly the same. So you may have noticed I've also been using this big silicone mat. Again, this is from Green Stuff World, and I absolutely love this, as it's a supersized paint palette. And obviously you can use it to mix up your paint. You can add water, add any sort of mediums to it as well. It's just awesome. The paint dries and then it just peels out, which is just great. As I love things that are simple but effective. Bit like me really, I guess. Yeah, so painting. Yeah, things couldn't be any simpler when you're Slapchop painting. Whether you're using the Green Stuff dipping inks, contrast paints, speed paints, or any other number of paints out there. There's definitely a variety of companies making paints, which is good. I've been using the dipping ink ones now for a good 6 months. Absolutely love these, as these are they're a lot more translucent than the other paints, which means you seem to have more control over just how strong or weak the colour looks, which is just pretty good. Generally one coat obviously will do, but it is nice having that options of building the layers up, sort of to make things darker and, well, exactly how you want them. As with any kind of things, when it comes to painting, yeah, we all have our own styles, our own sort of how we want something to look, which is really good. And that's why I love the fact that there are so many different paint companies out there doing sort of a whole variety of different paints. So yeah, this is about me waffling on. So if I had a script, well, yeah, I wouldn't want to do a script because for one, I would sound really boring, really dull. I would then lose interest. Say this for me is still a hobby. I do make money from this, but this ultimately is me having fun, sitting at a desk in my living room, being a big kid, painting things. And I say, guys, honestly, I am painting every single day just because, well, I love the painting. Very therapeutic, and I'm loving the results I get. Most of the things I do paint, I paint to play with. Occasionally, like this dude here, I paint things just, well, for the fun of it, and because it'll just sit somewhere on a desk, maybe a shelf if I can, well, put one up somewhere because I am lacking in room. But yeah, Judge Dredd, say, love doing him. Looking at doing the ABC Warriors from Judge Dredd. I've always wanted to do a kill team with them. So yeah, maybe one day. If you are new here and like what I do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, as I do produce a couple of videos every week. And if you can, share, leave comments, and hit the thumbs up button, that would also be awesome as well, as it does help promote my channel to more new people, which would just be awesome. So back to this fella. Yeah, he really didn't take long at all to paint. Say, there's not many colours to Judge Dredd. This is my preferred Judge Dredd, or I did enjoy the film where the judge was all in black. That was a good one. Obviously, you hated the one with Sly Stallone in it because, well, he took his helmet off. And if you've ever read the comic, yep, he never takes the helmet off. So there we go, painted up really quick, really nicely, looking great. But this is where, well, we can take it to the next stage now. So he's looking really good. But what he could do with even more is, well, a few highlights, a few extra colours. And this is where it is a case of experimenting, trying out new things. It's not necessarily trying to get to where the light would hit him. Yeah, I think just adding more colours, or sometimes contrasting colours, to colours we've already used. Again, just gives that sort of figure a bit more of a wow factor, a bit more of a pop. And this is what I'm going to try and do now with all the painting I do this year. So any videos you see where I paint something normally, just slap chop and don't do the extra steps, yeah, by all means roast me and say, well, you said in this other video you were always going to add extra bits. So that's what I'm going to try in doing this one. So yeah, it is more a case of adding in some extra highlights, doing a little bit of shading here and there. But again, what I'm trying to do is, well, try new things, mix it up. So obviously on his blue here, I'm using a very light blue. But in a moment, you'll see me go over some of the green with, well, a colour that wasn't green. And again, it's just to make everything sort of pop that bit more. Plus, my tendency when I paint is to make things look a bit too dark, dingy, the kind of grim dark style of painting, which I used to love. But now I really want to make my figures a bit more, well, a bit more vibrant, a bit more bright. And yeah, and less dark, I guess. Yeah, I guess my painting styles have changed, or it is just more of a case of, well, I want to change and try new things. So again, what I'm trying to do here, rather than just sort of literally paint over something, doing the old sort of like spotting, dibbing, dabbing, whatever it might be called. Again, what I'm trying to do is just have fun. This is where in the past I would stress out about trying something new, and then generally things would go to pot and I wouldn't enjoy whatever I was doing. So with this, yeah, I wasn't really thinking too much about what I was doing, to be honest, as I wanted to have fun. I just wanted to get some extra bits of colour on, just make it look a bit more 3D, a bit more vibrant, and yeah, just try new things. And guys, that's what this hobby is all about. It's all about trial, error, seeing what we like, seeing what we don't like, obviously copying other people to a certain extent, and then maybe putting our own twist on things. And I say, for me, yeah, this is meant to be a fun, relaxing hobby, which is why I never used to paint miniatures before, because I used to just get stressed out about the whole thing and didn't enjoy it. Whereas now, yeah, you've always got Slapchop painting technique to sort of fall back on, but then it is worth trying new stuff, well, over the top of the Slapchop painting technique. And that's what I'm doing here, and yeah, loving it. Love the end results. I say he does seem to pop that little bit more, and certainly enjoyed doing what I was doing. And the great thing about this sort of stage of adding highlights and just little bits here and there, you can spend as much time or as little time as you want. Basically, the figures, by doing the Slapchop painting technique, gets them tabletop ready. You never win any awards with that kind of painting, but for someone like me, it is a great way of getting the miniatures done, getting them playable, which is just awesome. And then, yeah, you can do these extra few stages, adding a few highlights, doing some stippling, whatever it is you may want to do, just to make it pop that bit more. Or you can play with the miniatures straight away, and then, like what I said I was going to do, which I must admit I've never done, is go back to my older miniatures and just sort of add a bit more to them. I think it's because I'm just so excited about being able to print out and make more miniatures, as well as I've got hundreds of, well, not hundreds, I've got dozens of boxes of Warhammer miniatures. Yeah, it's still in the boxes, not even opened, probably like most of you guys. So yeah, my pile of opportunity remains there, but that's the one thing about getting a 3D printer. You well, you just get more and more miniatures. Yeah, it's never ending, but it's fun. So yeah, it didn't take too long to sort of finish this guy off, and yeah, very happy with the extra sort of stage I did. Say it didn't take long at all, and I think he just looks awesome. So I will be printing up, or I am printed up at the moment, a whole bunch of orcs. I might make my very first Warhammer 40k army of orcs. Might not play the game, but I'm going to have an army. So keep an eye out for that, guys, as I will be 3D printing all the miniatures needed to make the Orc Combat Patrol box. And then from then, I am then going to sort of do a 1k army, 1.5k, 2k army. And the thing is, 3D printers, you can just keep on going and going. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave some likes down below, leave me some comments, hit that subscribe button, and share where possible. Okay, guys, you take care. Bye for now.